MotorWeek, television's original automotive magazine.
John, here's a fact of life. Cars get scratched. Now, there are particular ways that you want to deal with that, and to give us some pointers, we have Tim McCammett from Mudgett's Auto Body in Finksburg, Maryland. Tim, welcome to Goss's Garage.
Thank you.
All right, car gets scratched. What's the first thing the owner should do?
Take it to a professional and let them assess it.
Oh, you mean we're not supposed to get one of these TV kits or something and do it ourselves?
They don't work. Basically, you need to go to a professional because there's a lot of things that they can do. Determine, number one, is can we sand and buff out the scratches, or do we have to sand and repaint the hood?
All right, now the big thing there, of course, is the depth of the scratch, and you use your fingernail to do that?
Right, we just use our fingernail, and if you can get a hold of that scratch with your fingernail, it's too deep to sand and buff. The one next to it here is not as deep, and we can't get a hold of it. That one will probably sand and buff out.
Uh-huh. And you're going to take the hood off of this truck and do some sanding and buffing, and we'll see the results in a little bit.
Yep.
All right, now, there's another type of damage that we see a lot of these days, and that's where somebody's pulling out of a parking place and they brush up against the side of your car and they transfer this stripe of clear from their finish to yours, and it looks horrible. What's the deal there?
Well, a lot of that will come off. A lot of that can be sanded and buffed off, and most of the time you'll never even know the damage was there.
So there particularly, you don't want to get rubbing compound or sandpaper or anything like that and try to do it yourself.
Correct.
Because that's ultimately going to mean instead of sanding and buffing, you have to paint it.
Yes.
A lot more expensive to paint.
Correct.
While Tim's working on our hood, here are some points to remember. A lot of this can be do-it-yourself, but before you get involved in it, I'd suggest that you get professional advice so that you don't do something wrong and make matters worse than what they were in the beginning. And above all, if you use any kind of product or chemical or anything at all, when you're doing this yourself, read all of the directions, because not all products are good for all finishes. Tim, that looks a lot better. Something I could live with, and it only took you about 20 minutes. What did you do?
First thing I did was I sanded it with a 1500 grit sandpaper, and I came back over with a 3000 grit sandpaper, and then I used a rubbing compound and a polish.
All right, now one of the big things here is to know when enough is enough and not go through the clear coat.
Right. That's what I did. There's still a couple light scratches left, but I'm not going to go through them because if I continue to sand them, I will go through the clear coat.
And this is a common mistake that do-it-yourselfers do, is they just get too aggressive and...
Right. Know when to say when.
Yeah, absolutely. And this would be a lot cheaper than repainting the hood.
Yes, it would.
Okay. Thank you. And if you have a question or comment, drop me a line right here at MotorWeek.